on Sunday, something usual happened, right? Something that we expected happened. I don't know whether you expected that, Manchester United ambassador. Did you expect Manchester United to lose against Brighton?
I mentioned it at some point, and Manchester United has been playing very poorly against the so-called small teams because looking at the Premier League, we still consider Brighton not a very big team, right? It is not the same level of Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. And Manchester United have been playing very poorly against these teams. Look at the match they play against Southampton. If Southampton were clinical enough, they could have scored 3 goals in the first half. So I expected, and Brighton has been a bogey team for Manchester United for long, even when they're playing very well. They have been losing to Brighton season in, season out. I remember there is a time, I think that was the last time Manchester United won against Brighton at home. Was it at home or away? Manchester United actually were given a penalty after the final whistle.
Yeah.
Scored by Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. When Jose was at Spurs and Ole was at United, I remember Jose saying when you play against United, you cannot celebrate until you've gone into the dressing room or you've gone home, because you can be called from the dressing room to come and take consider penalty.
Yeah, they were actually awarded a penalty after the final whistle, and it was scored by Bruno Fernandes. The match ended 3-2. Brighton has been a problem to Manchester United.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd time. In fact, it is only Man City who has done that. 3 wins in a row at Old Trafford. It's only Man City who has done that in the Premier League. So Brighton has also done it. So it's something that I expected. The team, Manchester United team, is still they are rebuilding. They are rebuilding with very mistakes from the goalkeeper as usual. Onana can be very good and can be very bad at the same time. Onana is watching the ball going into the net, and he's very comfortable. Yeah. So the question was, did you expect this? Yes. With the players in Brighton ranks, Mitoma, I mentioned Mitoma, and that one is something that Mitoma and Welbeck are 2 players that the manager, if you're a good manager, you're going to meet Brighton. Those are players that you really need to find a way of stopping them. If you stop Mitoma, the same way when you're playing Arsenal and you stop Saka, you see Arsenal struggling. If you stop Mitoma, you see you can easily win against them. And most of the matches that they have lost or maybe drawn, Mitoma struggles, or maybe he's not there, maybe out of injury or something. So if you can't stop Mitoma, just know that you will be punished. Anyway, I expected that.
Yes. Now, did you expect that range from United losing against Brighton at home with a new manager? Of course, they had gotten a very good win against Southampton. Off the back of that win, do you expect them losing against Brighton at home?
I'll repeat it again. I remember when we were on live the other day, I said that I expected them to lose simply because before they played the other day, when we look at the previous 6 matches they've played against Brighton, they only won 1 match. So actually, it was going to be a very tough game because Brighton is a team that imekuwa ikilemea Man United each and every season. So actually, Brighton is that team. Actually, I gave a very good example. It's like Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Arsenal versus Southampton. Aston Villa and Southampton, these are 2 teams that actually when we play against as Arsenal, isn't it imutulemea? I don't know why. It's the same thing when it comes to Man United versus Brighton. Brighton is a team that when Man United play against Brighton, Man United have to concede, and actually they end up losing the game most of the time. So actually, in short, I expected it to be a very, very tough match. And actually, I expected Brighton to win that match, honestly, as a football fan.
So analyzing from what you saw in that match, I hope you looked at the match, and
Yes.
where do you think Man United need to improve, or what really happens when Manchester United play against those kind of teams? Because we've seen them playing against Liverpool. They did put up a very good show against Liverpool. They did put up a very good show against Arsenal. Remember, they played against Arsenal in an FA Cup, but they eliminated Arsenal in that cup. And now, coming into Brighton, a fixture that you'd expect them to win because of the result that they've been showing against big teams, the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal. I thought that was an easy match for them. Where did it really go wrong for United in that match against Brighton?
It's me, right? Okay. Actually, when I take a look at Man United, actually, I feel like me as a football fan, nikiangalia these guys who play up front, Højlund and Zirkzee. I feel like, first of all, acha niongele these two guys. I feel like Ruben Amorim these two guys are not the perfect guys for this manager, because actually that's why I always say, since Amorim joined, actually I don't expect much from this Man United team, because first of all, this manager is working is working with the available players and anatumia available players. So I feel like this guy is a very good manager, but he needs his own players. He needs to identify, I need this kind of player, players who are going to deliver according to his system. So actually, when I look at the defense, actually I feel like Maguire is really trying. A player like Maguire is really trying. I feel like the elite is really trying. So the problem, there is one guy who said, and I actually backed his point. You see a defender like Martinez, this back three system, actually it's exposing the guy, because the guy is short, and they're playing us with the back three system. So I feel like Martinez is a little bit straining, a little bit straining compared to players like Maguire and Elite. So I feel like this current coach, who is Ruben Amorim, has to go back to the drawing board by the end of the season. He has to talk to the board. They have to sit down, and he has to identify which kind of players he needs, so that they can play according to his system. So that's all I can say about Man United. That's why I'm saying, actually, let's give this team until the end of the season. Let them recruit the right players for the manager. Then we will see if he will deliver next season.
Now, before I give someone who is going to give us an in-depth analysis of his team, let me ask, you've said that he needs to work with the players that will fit into his system. Now, do you think that most of these players that we have at United cannot really work with the system that United has at the moment? Because you cannot tell me that United are going to the market to change everybody in that team just to suit what the manager they brought in wants. Which are some of these players you think they're going to be incorporated in the new system that Ruben Amorim wants to probably play at United and get success?
Okay. First of all, I'll go back to the strikers. Actually, I'm very sure that first of all, Ruben Amorim will go for a striker. First of all, I'm very sure this guy will go for a striker. And you see, the reason as to why I'm saying this guy needs some few elements who will fit into his system. Actually, as a manager, we all know that they can't sign new players for the whole team, right? But there are some positions, the crucial positions. You see, that's the reason as to why we see like players like Garnacho, Rashford. These are the manager is trying to get rid of such players. Whoever knew that Man United will get rid of a player like Rashford and Garnacho? Nobody knew. But this simply means that this manager, these are the kind of players that actually they will strain according to the system of the manager. Actually, he needs some players who are going to fit into his system. right? So I feel like he needs to go into the market and find those few elements. We can't really sign the whole team, but rebuilding a team, we start by the most important positions, the crucial positions. So I feel like this guy will go for maybe for a striker. I'm very sure he will have to go for a striker, and maybe will go for for the wing backs. Actually, he will have to consider the wing backs because these are very crucial positions. When we are playing with the back three system, he'll have to find, or maybe he'll have to recruit the wing backs and maybe a striker. Yeah, so these are the type of positions maybe he'll have to get new players for the team.
Now, let's give Man United ambassador 001. He's actually been looking at players. He's been scouting players. He's an ambassador, so he's been sent by the club to look for players. So he's ready to give us some of the players that are going to be brought in to help the team. What do you think about this team? Where is the real problem at United, and why are you not getting results? I feel like the players you have are good enough to actually get results against the likes of Brighton, against the likes of, you've shown character when playing against United, against Arsenal, against Liverpool. You guys are showing that you can actually go to the wall. You can actually be in a battle and do something. But when it comes to you guys playing against, not disrespect to Southampton, not disrespect to Brighton, but these are teams that you should be whipping. What's happening?
Mabea and Reg, let me tell you that the system that we're playing, the 3-4-2-1 formation, it is unless you have players who are ready to run with quick passes, that is when you can succeed. Looking at all those teams that are using the same formation in Italy, you'll agree with me. Those are players that make very quick passes going forward, and we don't have such players. Having Mazraoui, looking at him, is not a natural wing back. He's the one who has been playing on the right side. Dalot is a right back. He can play on the right wing as a right wing back, but currently he's helping Manchester United to play on the left. So he's also struggling there. Remember, in the middle of the park, we have a new player, somebody who is new in the league, playing his first season, and a young player. Those are the players that Amorim is using. That is Maino. Maino is still a relatively young player. If you remember the Manchester United that we used to have, Maino is somebody who should be coming from the bench. Ugarte is also relatively a young player. His first season in the league, you don't expect much from him. So the team is gelling. They are building the team. That defense that Reg is talking about, it is true. Martinez is not comfortable, and the height is working against him. And that is why, and I mentioned it, why Amorim decided to use Yoro instead of Martinez against Brighton. Actually, in Amorim's mind, I believe he was thinking of Welbeck. Welbeck is one player who's very good in the air. So you need people or defenders who can handle him in situations like that. And that is why Yoro was brought in to handle Welbeck. So Manchester United, I don't expect much from them. I know they're capable. The team is capable of winning something. Not the league, obviously. But they're still capable of getting something. Remember why you feel that Manchester United played well against Liverpool and Arsenal. Those are bragging rights. Those are matches that you don't go and lose, because it can disorientate you the entire season just because you've been beaten by Arsenal or Liverpool. So they give their all. And then you remember, even the manager himself said that after the Liverpool match, the players were very tired because they did 110%. Going into Arsenal match, they also did more than that because they were less, like almost 60 minutes. Remember, we went up to extra time. So these players were tired. There was fatigue. There is fatigue in that team. And looking at the bench, You don't have the right players. Remember, Ahmad, according to me, Ahmad plays very well as a wing back. Ahmad naturally is a winger. Currently, he's playing as a half 10 because the formation we're using 2 10s. That is Bruno and Ahmad. But Ahmad playing as a wing back, when Dalot was given the red and he missed the Southampton game, so Ahmad played on the right side as a wing back. He did better than what he does as a 10. Ahmad is not a 10. And the manager is trying to make him fit in the system. You know, when you are playing a team like Liverpool, you can be defensive. When you are playing a team like Brighton, you attack. So I expected him to use 3 defenders, yes, but have wingers on as left and right wing backs instead of using defenders. And Mazraoui, people have said that Mazraoui is a good player, is a good signing. To me, he's not fitting in. He plays better playing at the back 3, but not as a right wing back. Mazraoui plays better. There are some matches that he played when Maguire was injured, and he played back as a back 3. He did well. I haven't seen Mazraoui giving a serious cross. He's one player who doesn't give a serious run. Things people like Lookman can give you on the wing as a wing back player. Yeah. Maybe I know you know Lookman very well. He's one player that you like. So let's wait and see what the manager, and the manager is very rigid. He's saying that he is ready to suffer and do the right thing. So it's like the season is done for Manchester United. For him is to just keep Manchester United afloat within the league and start his season next. So now Manchester United this season, I think it is done, and he told the fans that we are going to suffer. Expect it.
And yes, now, what do you think about your midfield? Because if you ask me, I think your major problem comes from the midfield. I have told you.
I mentioned the midfield. I've mentioned those 2 young players that we are having. In Ugarte. Ugarte is only 23, and Mainu. Yes, Mainu is barely 20. You see, so they lack the experience. Manu is one player who is not, he doesn't have the pace to run, he doesn't have the energy, he gets really tired in these matches. The midfield is exposed. I think Amorim with this formation should add one body. Let him use, if I was Amorim at this stage, if I want to take Manchester United out of where Manchester United is, that is the 13-14, I will add one body to the midfield. Bring 110, the 2 10s that he's using, bring one to the midfield, so that you pack that midfield a little bit. Use 3 midfielders and a single 10, so that you bring bodies to the midfield, so that teams don't overrun you in the middle of the park. You get what I'm saying? You can bring Casemiro, you can bring Eriksen in that midfield. Yes, you just change formation to get out of
the play 5-3-2, so that you can have three solid midfielders, and of course, like a striker, and one who's going to support the striker, the number 10.
Yes, what I was telling you, Arteta should have done against Aston Villa after scoring the second goal, to prevent Aston Villa from running through that midfield and creating chances. Pack that midfield, make it difficult for teams to run through you. That's what you do. You make that difficult for teams to run through. For now, because what Amorim should do is to bring Manchester United to the first page. Only that. That's the only thing that he should do now. This season.
I mean, it has come to that. Like, your ambition is to be on.
It is painful. It is painful because I was even reading something, Opta, that Manchester United appears on the list of teams that can be relegated. I think the last, yes, with 0.06, I think, percentage. But the fact that Manchester appears on that list is sad. It's sad because Manchester United is a team that we shouldn't even imagine that can be relegated at this stage, right? Yes. So the fight and bring the team out of page 2 and come to the first page and maybe win, which is possible. Winning this, like the new system of the Champions League and the Europa League, there are no teams that are going to drop from Champions League to Europa League. So it is straightforward. If you are a good manager, you will go and study all those teams that are in the Europa League and see how you can win that trophy. Because you don't expect any team to drop from the Champions League. Once you are knocked out, you are gone. Right? So
Yes.
Manchester United needs a midfielder like the caliber of Kante, and I see one in Brighton, in Baliba. Baliba is very energetic. That boy runs the entire match, and I've watched him a number of times. I've mentioned this. If you can play Baliba and Gatti in midfield, my friend, I don't think that midfield is breakable. I'm telling you, Mino switches off a number of times. He's slow. He's talented, but very slow. And I don't think Mino is one player who has ever nailed any position for me. I don't know whether he's a defensive midfielder or attacking midfielder. Like Ugarte, you can see this is a destroyer. I was just watching the number of breaks that he has made when they're being attacked. But Mino, he can't tackle. Mino, I don't know whether he's a 10. He's just in the midfield. He has not nailed a position. Maybe if people can tell me, but I haven't seen Mino nailing a position and to say that this position, Mino is very good at this particular position. Maybe Reg can tell me if as a football fan, not an Arsenal fan, if Mino is as a position that you can talk about and say that is his position in that midfield. I've thought of, I think Mino can be a good 10 because he's a good scorer, by the way. And then he's one person that can do those short passes. He can do very well with Zagzi up front. I can try that if I was a manager. And especially when playing these FA matches, just take Mino, have Ugarte and Casemiro, and then have Mino and Bruno as the 2 10s and see what they can do when playing matches like FA against Leicester.
Now, I have a different thought on what you're saying. Huh? You've said, there's something you said. If I were the manager right now, I'll take Mino as one of the 10s with the same
Yes.
system that he's using. But I'll not put Bruno as one of the 10s. I'd rather have Bruno dropping deep because he's one player who can find players from good positions. Looking at Ugarte and Mino, the two of them cannot find players from deep positions. I'll get Bruno come deep, then have Mino as one of the 10s and Ahmad as a wing back. As you said, he operates very well as a wing back. I'll have Mino switching towards the left as one of the 10 that goes to the left. I'll have Zagzi towards the right. I'll have Hoyland as a striker. I'll try that because, you also need someone with the instincts of scoring. Like Hoyland will give you that. Zagzi will give you 1-on-2, 1-2 with Mino, and they will progress the ball going forward. They'll try and do something. See, that is what you need. I feel like if you fix there and you have right wing backs or the correct wing backs, it's going to be easy for you. And actually, you actually need to have one of the attacking wing back. You cannot play all defenders as your wing backs. It's not going to work. The defenders, they cannot actually run in behind. You see, that match you played against Brighton, the first half, you're playing very well. You had a start. In fact, I feel like the manager had a strategy. The first half, you guys were pressing man-to-man. Brighton were not actually getting in behind your defender. It was not easy for them to get through. In fact, looking at the goals that they got even in the second half, it is not because they played brilliant. That is why they got the goals. It's because of it was just self-destruction from Manchester United players. And actually not even players from your goalkeeper. One, Maguire did put I think, was it Mitoma onside? And then the third goal, was
blunder from the goalkeeper.
From Onana. But even the second goal was a blunder from a goalkeeper. You have to.
Yes, just mention just as you've said, Manchester United played very well. Actually, they contained. I did not even see Mitoma in the first half. He wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but again, energies dropped in the second half. That's why I'm telling you this system really needs people who have got the energy to do it. That's why sometimes when you pack that midfield, you can get something just to save face for this season. But the formation that he's playing is good. I sometimes I feel like this guy should take Mazraoui back to the back three, play Martinez as a left wing back. Martinez is very good in terms of passing and even scoring goals. We have seen him do that. Have him as a wing back because we don't have Shaw. He's a natural lefty. Then take Dalot back to right. Let Dalot play on his natural position, which is the right side of the field. Martinez to play on the left. Have delete Maguire and Mazraoui as a back three. Martinez will give you those passes. Martinez will give you those passes. In fact, Dalot wasted so many chances in the first half. I don't know why he was coming in front of the defenders. Remember, those Brighton midfielders are very experienced. They know what you are trying to do. Because what I saw Dalot doing it twice. He wants to run in front of a defender with the ball. Martinez will give you something from the left side of the defense. You don't have to insist and play him as a back three. Play him on the left as we wait for Shaw to come back. I know he's coming back very soon, and he's going to strengthen that attack. Because Shaw is one person who will run, but for how long? He may do a one match and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the player that he has, what we've said, Maino can go and play as a 10. Bruno back, it's okay. Yeah, he's doing that when he's playing for Portugal. He always plays deep.
Yeah.
And they have Martinez as a left wing back. He has the energy. Yes, for now, because you don't have the personnel to implement your to do your formation.
What happened to Malacia? Malacia, is he still fit?
Malacia is not fit enough to play in the Premier League as at now. Remember, Malacia is one player who was out for a year without kicking the ball. It's never easy. Yes, so we still don't have the energy to play in the Premier League. And remember, for you as a wing back, you have to run. I think that is why the manager is also avoiding playing Martinez there. But Martinez is experienced enough. He is not like a pacey player, but he's very experienced. He knows how to do it. I've seen him do it. Yeah. Especially when you're playing against teams that are going to sit back. Play Martinez on the left.